Wait, 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 wait. Here we go. Hi there, this is yours truly, Clarice T, and today is the 16th of January 2026. If I may suggest, because so many things have happened, so many things are still happening, I truly believe that um, the next meetups that I will have with long time no see friends, friends like who have resided like outside the city or like they are outside the Philippines, it's like the best way for us to get together, even with new friends, is in the beach. You know, um, there is a positive meaning to washed up. It's a negative connotation. Oh, she's a washed up, has been. But in my case, being washed up away, the cosmetics, all the like the filter of the camera, although uh, this uh, webcam doesn't have filter, but still it's different when it's up close and personal, right? It's not that I am so proud of my physical appearance. Actually, we all show the passage of time, the how we're different from our looks are different from years back. It's just that I have been so fortunate to live a life with friends, many friends actually, that we had a great time. Even though I have a different sense of humor now, I have different values and priorities, but so are you guys. So we meeting with all without the veneer of the like product endorsements, filter, or whatever the purpose of going online, going live. It's just us, and we can go back easily to those days, bringing our new selves, our newly acquired wisdom. Yes, I'd like to think that we have uh, gained some wisdom over the years. So we bring all our imperfections being washed up is not so bad. Like after a lap or two at the swimming pool, then we truly can recognize each other as the friend we grew up with, the friend that whom we had so much fun. That's why probably during the years that I had to be alone, like working because of the choices that I made, I carry with me those memories, like how it can easily go back to those days because we grew up, had fallen out, then came back, then, we lost touch after high school, after college, after being in some relationships, making decisions that drifted us apart, that caused the drift in the relationship, like in communication. But there comes a time when I'd like the explanations to come from me, and finally I can present how I have so many lookalikes. Yes, that's it. And the name Clarissa Garcia, Clarissa talaga. They've caused so many inconveniences that if I have a friend, new friend, like online, virtual, and he would come here, he would. I, I'm taking it for granted that it's a he. He would have to wade through the different personalities, namesakes of yours truly, Clarissa. Because over time, only after clarifications and after the formal venues, I truly can say that I really don't have to discuss the life that is not me, but who are in the ambit, the names, the identification that are not me, but had caused so many problems with my credentials and the system generated membership benefits, what else? Liabilities, relationship. Now I have my own, finally, I have my own set of representations. So I am thankful for the the I have yet to meet them, but they had given me their trust and confidence. So the first time that we will be meeting will be I will have a scene incident report, because those other incident reports, those other adverse claimants are not really after me, but after a personality, whether it's real or phantom, or someone ghostly, or whatever the um, sources of the splitting personalities, multiple personalities, which I really don't have to take into consideration at this point in time, because mine, it, we have um, a paper trail that will end up with not hostile confrontation, but personal dialogue. So it's still me, and that although the topics and the conversation will be different, it's so adult-based conversation, not adult films, but the what the talking points, the real events that take place with people who are our age, who have gone through life at different stages, um, acquiring a partner, losing a partner, be it a spouse, or whatever angle it is. So finally, I don't have to speak for someone who had, you know, who had been intertwined in so many complex non-personal relationships, and use codes to speak about it, to talk about it. Because, for one, the court will not accept coded pleas and affidavits and sworn statements. So that actually limits and narrow the acceptable talking points. Second, without the facts, excuse me, without the facts, wherein we've lost touch, but the news feed, or not the official news feed, but the grapevine, like in the informal conversations between close friends who remain to be in touch with one another, the groups, the groupies, for which I did not belong to anyone. The years that passed by, I did not belong to any group. So that's why I feel so certain that I would be, if I were in their shoes, I would be speaking about someone who is not part of our group, but we know him or we know her as our batchmate, or as the daughter of the former government official, the niece of former mayor of Lucena City. So along those aspects, whether I am just like borrowing the public persona of well-known personalities, local personalities, or whether I was suspected of, riding on the coattails of other well-known and established writer, musician, content creator, because some part of me are being diagnosed. So that's why, someone who has been creating content quite regularly will not, and it's the impossibility is there that she will not be present. She will not be available. She will not have the mental faculty, the psyche, the psychological wellness to sustain an occupation such as being an online content creator, music. So these split personalities will not be acceptable if they will be discussed in codes, if they will be discussed without facts, without documents at the court of law. It's not going to be feasible. That's why my friends, my former classmates, I had, delayed getting in touch with you, because if I speak, it's from the horse's mouth, that it's supposed to be the end game, directly from the mouth of the source, or the person whom you have known all your life, who had acquired a different kind of reputation, different kind of personality, like if I were in your shoes, I would think twice about getting in touch again, reminiscing, because you might be suffering from amnesia or dementia, and that you will not remember what had happened when we were growing up, the fun times. And I might put you in inconvenience or in a hot spot, and I will not be so cruel, to remind you of the healthy days and put you on the spot, like highlighting the fact that you are not well anymore, that a caregiver is standing by, and that I should not trust any kind of communication with you because you are under supervision. So I will think twice. That's why I had not, during those confirmed split situation, devastation, I decided, not to add to your confusion. I decided that there is a proper time and place to finally produce the official version, the official narrative that will be accepted and that will be binding, that will forever, decidedly beyond reasonable doubt, um, hold those other rumors and what wherever the sources may be, the contentions, they are happening informally, and like it's another story in the official proceedings and due processes. So in like taking um, a trip outside of Lucena City or outside of the country, I can still be recognized as Clarissa, Clarissa talaga, um, residing in Pleasantville subdivision. And, in the past, even because we're in politics, right? So it's not inconceivable to associate me with the current government officials with whom I had to go to present my personal courtesy, with my the reason behind my personal visits. So here in Lucena City are like, for instance, our congressman is Congressman JJ Suarez, and of course Congressman JJ Suarez has relatives also outside of Quezon province. And outside of Quezon province, I also have acquired a different name recall and familiarity and public persona. So the interactions of the parallel versions of what is happening inside, whether they whatever will what do you call that? Whatever will prevail over all other confusing narratives that will stand the test, like the scrutiny, stand the cross examination. That narrative will prevail. And so that is me now getting ready. Thank you so much. And thank you so much that 2026 is very promising in that way. So, can you imagine all the things that had happened? Um, I would like to set your fears and your worries and your apprehensions that I am a different person than the one whom you have known all our life. We've laughed so much. Even though there was a part like in my writing, I would assume a personality, a characteristic so different from my personality. It's because I'm a novelist. I'm a novelist. I'm a storyteller. I create characters, and for those characters to be believable, I should like go deep down to emotions and angst. So it should not be mistaken for my personal characteristics, and that was what happened actually in my writings. I had like in Precious, I had written characters that later on had caused so much like confusion about my relationship to them. But it's actually I have that. I have written like one of the characters of my Tagalog novels was Monina, and Monina became my sister-in-law. But at that time, I had no knowledge about Monina's existence and how she would be my brother Jerry Boy's girlfriend. So I had written about her. So at another time, I would write about the character, um, our Senator Gatchalian. Those were the things that had caused really had been because as a novelist, I would like I would depend on my inner sources and my own ways and means to name my characters. So I would really look down upon myself and think about characters, and that is very in character with me, that I would somehow look down upon me and think about someone, and later on they would turn out like in such a way. So the my the knowledge of like wait, what were my personal knowledge at the time that I was writing my novels? There was no way I could have based my characters as a novelist to real life. The disclaimer about like a movie or a series where they say the story is fictional. Any similarities to real persons, it's just coincidence. But in my case, because of my belief and my faith, I always attribute everything to our Lord. And that's one of the things that is quite new, because while I was with you, with my high school friends, with my college friends, I have not really the fun that we had, we were just ordinary teenagers. The fun that we had were, basic. I had no way of knowing who my ancestors were that came later, who about the solutions to the would-be problems that came up, wherein I had applied all the things that we've learned, like in commerce, like all the academic learnings and all the experiences that I had. They didn't solve the problem. And it was at the time that I had relied on the spiritual side of life. And there's no regret and there's no turning back. And I am not sorry that it happened in hindsight. So yeah, much has been eliminated. So we don't have to speak about it. Although in formal papers, things have to be things have to things are cannot be left open-ended. So some closures are needed in order to settle. Like if some damages or costs are incurred in order to decipher, in order to arrive at the conclusion, arrive at the decision wherein it did not violate the right of every person mentioned, of every party, because it had been painstaking um, due processes. Indeed, I have come to find out directly, they are not fast. Um, they cannot be expedited if it means the rights of another person will not be recognized. The due process entails that for every person mentioned who became, because of the incidents and examination of the event that put us together in one place for, during a certain period of time, they would have to be heard just like I have to be heard. So, in comparing the facts and arriving at the consensus. Yes, I am using terms which are outside of legal profession because I'm not a lawyer. I speak like a party of interest, uh, who may borrow legal terminologies which had been um, taught or which had been used, and which, ignorance of the law excuses no one. So for lack of counterpart terminology, in layman's term, as a writer, as a non-lawyer, I would borrow terms that lawyers use, but I do not have the technical meaning in for in the most effective way to use the term. I'm just loosely borrowing such terms. I have never, never, never pretended to be a lawyer. I have never, um, because that was one of the allegations I had to um, to deny and to show proof how I did not misrepresented myself. So, and one of the best ways to do that is, I can just keep through myself. In the beach, being washed up, being washed up like not the youthful persons that we were like when we were teenagers or in our 20s, in our 30s. Anyway, so, being washed up is not so bad after all if it can resolve some problems, like how I would enlist the help of cosmetics in order to be more professional, to be more so that my physical appearance cannot detract from the um, intention of my online, or that I would look more respectable. So I would use makeup or cosmetics, and it might be some sort of um, confusion because in person, without these cosmetics, I might look different. And at one point of my profession life, professional as a professional, I was even accused of deliberately misleading because I had projected certain image on screen that had the crude word is actually duped followers and supporters into believing that uh, the products that I produce are not actually mine, but mistakenly, it's my name. Mistakenly, I was attributed with producing quite favorable and quite successful image and products. So a lot of the obviously they are not friends. Obviously they have their own um agenda and intention, these people. And down the line I might there's a possibility that I might be able to speak with them if there is a need. But if at this point in time those personalities whom they that had entangled with them in certain conflicts, which I am not, which I have managed to free myself through the help of friends, of course, through the help of a law firm, through the help of a lawyer, and that's actually one of the reasons why certain meetings have to take place through the help of U.S. Embassy here in Manila. And uh, I we do not have to speak about it, just as I can safely say that some personal confrontations and dialogues will not take place. What remains will be um, the assigning of cost, because this did not happen free of charge. Legal costs had been incurred, and the professional fees, as well as court fees, as well as some compensation, they would have to be dealt with. So with that, I am fortunate that finally, if you look for a person who cannot afford to go to the beach, that's me for some time. A woman who cannot afford um, to be present, like in some gatherings, and that was also me because of the situation I was in. So at this point in time, the remedies are coming not in one great wave, but in trickles. But who am I? Beggars cannot be choosers. So with that, I would like to say I'm so looking forward. I miss my classmates. I miss my former, the church members. I miss you guys, and it pays off naman. the decisions that entailed sacrifices and being misinterpreted, being the loner, being assigned with being the living a hermit life while things are being sorted out so as not to add to the confusion and so as not to provide oxygen to wrong existence, to not add lifespan to wrong um to non-existent personality. Thanks. So that I actually while for the most part I was live over my ex formerly Twitter account. So this is your sweetie Christy. Today is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Um, Planning with a viable source of funds or budget is more fun than not having any idea where the funds will come from. I will be seeing you guys. Looking forward. And this is me, yours truly. And we're going to the beach, hopefully. And yeah, actually, with that, I would like to say I'm not as skinny as before, but that's okay.